Spaghetti with
Today
homemade
we are
spaghetti
making
sauce.
spaghetti with homemade spaghetti sauce. You will need roasted red peppers, sun-dried tomatoes, crushed fire roasted tomatoes, spaghetti, grass-fed ground beef. For vegetables, you will need celery. You will need a green bell pepper and a sweet Vidalia onion. For seasonings, you will need black pepper, polo, oregano, sea salt, Italian seasoning, onion powder, garlic powder, herbs de Provence, Parmesan cheese, and sugar. We'll get to that later. First things first, go ahead and brown your ground beef in a pot. Go ahead and generously season it with sea salt and black pepper. Those are the only two seasonings you're going to put on there initially to just go ahead and get it going and get those flavors going. You always want to start off with a lot of salt on that meat because that meat's going to be the foundation for everything else. So I went ahead and browned my ground beef. Once I did that, I went ahead and started adding in my vegetables. Started off with my onion. Finely diced that, put that in there, stirred it up, and let that cook for a couple of seconds. Next, I added my green bell pepper. Green bell pepper in spaghetti is so necessary and so good. I just went ahead and got that finely diced as well, added that to the party. Went ahead, stirred it up, and let that cook for a couple of seconds before I added in my other things. Alrighty, so next I went ahead and added my celery. I love celery in my spaghetti sauce. It adds a little crunch and a little something extra to it. I can't really put my finger on it, but I love a little celery in my spaghetti. So I finally diced that as well and added that to the party. Gave everything a nice stir. Next, it was time to go ahead and get jiggy with it. Go ahead and add my roasted red peppers to the party. So to go ahead and throw some little red in there into that green party. Went ahead and let those cook, and then I added my sun-dried tomatoes. I am in love with sun-dried tomatoes. Sun-dried tomatoes add a sumptuous, elevated flavor to any dish that you make. Went ahead, got them finely chopped, and put in the party as well. Alrighty, so I've got all my vegetables cooking well. Now it's time to go ahead and really make that sauce. So I use fire roasted tomatoes, crushed tomatoes from Trader Joe's. That's going to build that sauce. That's how you start building that sauce. And I like to use organic tomatoes from Trader Joe's. Next, I took that can, added some water to it. Now I'm going to go ahead and get that can, go ahead and just add my seasonings to that can. Just to be doing something different. Went ahead and sprinkled me some oregano in there. It's just that tomato can with water in it. Then I added some herbs de Provence. I was very generous with my seasonings. You cannot have too many seasonings, especially Italian seasonings and stuff like that. Then I went ahead and added a generous amount of my Italian seasoning. My garlic powder, obviously, lots and lots and lots of that. My onion powder, one of my favorites. I love it. Went ahead and added a generous amount of that. Then my Polo chicken flavored bouillon. I love this stuff. It adds an extra flavor to anything you make. Now you don't want to go too overboard with that because it contains a lot of salt. You do just want to add enough just to give it that little flavor. Next, I went ahead and shook everything up. Shook all my seasonings up and added that to my tomato mixture. Got everything stirred up. Oh, that looks so doggone good. You're not going to find spaghetti sauce that looks like that coming out of a jar. You're just not. That is homemade spaghetti sauce at its finest. Got everything all stirred up together. Now I'm going to simmer this spaghetti sauce for an hour. 1 hour. Now before I do that, any good person that knows how to do Italian food knows you need a little bit of sugar in your pasta dishes, in your pasta sauce. Tomato-based pasta sauces. So I added 2 tablespoons of sugar And I also discovered that it wasn't salty enough for me, so I did go ahead and add just a couple more sprinkles of my chicken flavored bouillon, just to bump up that salty flavor a little bit. I didn't go too overboard, but just enough to make it taste nice and salty and savory at the same time. Went ahead and got that stirred up, and like I said, I am going to go ahead and cook my sauce for about an hour. I lowered it onto a simmer. Well, I forgot. I added some garlic. I had almost forgot about that. Alrighty, so now it's time to go ahead and make my spaghetti. I went ahead and decided to leave my spaghetti whole. So I went ahead and boiled some water, added my spaghetti. And there's my sauce. After cooking for a whole hour, doesn't that look delicious? You're just not going to find that in no jar. That is so, so delicious. So then, after I let my spaghetti boil for 11 minutes or so till al dente, then I went ahead and drained it and added it to my sauce. Went ahead and cooked that spaghetti with that sauce for about another good 15 minutes or so to let those flavors meld and join together and get all nice and combobulated. Oh, doesn't that look good? That looks so good. Oh my God, guys. This was easily the best spaghetti I've ever made. Never made my own homemade spaghetti sauce, but Ragu and Prego, holla at your girl. I will never again use canned or jarred spaghetti sauce. I will always make my own. I hope you guys give this a try. Gotta have that Parmesan cheese. Thanks for watching.